not closing out stocks, Joker's really awkward to deal with. And this isn't me throwing shade, whatever. Riptide's best character is Pac-Man. I don't think Pac-Man has a problem with Duck Hunt. It's going to be a slower matchup. It's going to be a lot more methodical. It's going to be a lot more stuff being thrown at each other. I think this is way more easy to feel out. And maybe if you see, all right, the Duck Hunt's doing certain stuff, maybe then you pull out a secondary, whether it's the Joker, whether it's the Sephiroth. And this is where I'm kind of looking at, where I'm like, you think about Galaga, you think about Bell, you think about Hydrant. Like, Duck Hunt's not going to have the best things to swing against him.
And, we're speaking about how this is a close match, but these players are absolutely swinging at each other, swinging to the fences. I'm pretty sure I saw Trifecta just go from 0 to 60 in quite literally half of a second.
Yeah, Pac-Man builds percent a little too fast for his owner. I'm going to be honest, all right?
Look, we have our thoughts about Pac-Man. My thoughts on Pac-Man are completely different. And actually, Trifecta willing to be like a dog on the water slide, just use that to ride all the way up into Riptide. And Riptide, he's normally so good at getting that bell or getting that initial kill confirm that he loves so much, but he's not able to really get that bell.
Yeah, when I think about the strengths of Riptide, I think about knowing where to place a hitbox, is knowing where to generally be and get a lot from it. And so with a projectile character, you're not going to... That killed?
Dude.
Man, why does he have that?
Dude, they decided to give better boxing tools to a Pac-Man than an actual boxer.
Yeah.
A little bit of the ledge, the jump past the ledge. Yeah, Riptide kind of exclaiming a little bit. Probably not intended.
Yeah.
But if you're a Trifecta, if you're kind of playing the long game, or I guess the more intentional projectile spam at this point, you're gonna take literally everything you can get.
You gotta, to talk towards the notion of projectile characters, it's kind of a war of attrition, all right? You don't necessarily need to be right with every single projectile. You need to be right more on average. And I think that Pac-Man is going to close out stocks way more consistently than Duck Hunt Dog. Because Duck Hunt Dog isn't going to get necessarily the same chances to swing close range that Pac-Man gets, because Pac-Man's close quarter combat is just kind of insane for his owner.
You have that close quarters combat, and you also have the best close quarters combat tool of all, that bell.
Yeah.
That is quite literally going to be your optimal kill confirm at every possible percent you could ever want. Duck Hunt is dead.
We just saw First Still Hydrant.
He would have been dead 40% ago. But instead, Trifecta is choosing, he decided, nah, I'm going to live for just a little while longer, and I'm going to kill even more.
We are seeing the strength of dash back, shoot a lot of bullets, and pray they hit.
That gunman prevented Riptide from getting that bear. That was quite literally the best save that a teammate could really hope for.
And now we're going to... So, talk about the projectile war. Talk about what... Oh, my God. The apple trajectory sneaking in that kill.
It ain't fall season. What happened?
When we see Duck Hunt Dog, he's going to be able to set up a wall a little bit better than Pac-Man can. So if Duck Hunt Dog's got a lead, he's going to be able to take it to the bank. Unfortunately, not the strongest spike in the game, but he took the percent for it.
That spike makes me so sad. I'm going to be real. But I will admit, if Duck Hunt somehow had a really, really strong spike, this character would be an absolute menace. And Trifecta was the seed 12 of this tournament, and is proving himself to be an absolute menace, as he's doing a pretty good job establishing this lead against Riptide.
Trying to sneak him out of the side B before he was flying with the up air. All right, we're gonna see the patented Riptide dash back 4 throw. Try to sneak in the F smash. It'll kill. Not quite.
It was flying from afar. That looked like a ski shot, and it wasn't even the pigeon.
We saw the early air dodge. We saw Trifecta. Stone cold, straightforward, said, I know where you're landing. I'm going to hit you with those feathers. And he died early.
Dude, he said, go my pigeon, hold down the neutral. And he quite literally did. It wasn't even a pigeon at that point. It was a freaking duck.
Yeah.
And yeah, that can quite literally came out of nowhere. That looked like it was flying out from a Jackass film. It was a sudden explosion, a jet ski coming out over from a pool on the other side.
I'm not even playing. You heard me go, oh, it's flying.
This isn't the character to fly. There's only one character with wings on the screen.
Riptide taking it back to Pokemon Stadium, saying the large map, not the problem here. But the start of the game, looking a little problematic for the boy.
It's a little bit tricky, but when you have that open, center hall, that center well, placed perfectly for that Hydrant, that is like the really big benefit that Pac-Man really does drive in that stage. He's one of those few characters where when they say, you want to go PS2, gentlemen, you kind of say, hold on a minute. Let me think about that for a second.
The game classically, not a lot of stage variety, not a lot of that, but the large maps definitely favoring the projectile characters, and I think we're going to see more of what I was kind of talking. I thought he was going to snipe the third trampoline charge. Wouldn't matter. He still got up with only 2 charges. But we're going to see that kind of pace where Trifecta doesn't need to get in. He can kind of wait for Riptide to throw out something, and we can resort to a bit more gunplay. We can resort to a bit more can, a bit more disc. We don't need using the speed from the Hydrant, sneaking again and F2. Look at this lead!
Trifecta's so good. Like, you were talking about, like, the slow pacing. Trifecta is so good at just suddenly taking that pacing and just saying, let's speed it up to 10. We were playing at a 1. I'm going to bring it up to a 10, and then an 11.
That's a perfect way to put it. We're seeing if he gets a little bit of a lead, he's saying, all right, my opponent, they don't get to control the pacing. I do. And every time, he's getting paid out for it.
And he's just ready for that. You saw him just kind of like, chilling on that platform. And as soon as he launched that one can, he was nearly ready to kill Riptide off the top at relatively early percent.
We're seeing the best smash attack in the game, Pac-Man F Smash. It's going to just poke. It's going to just do your taxes. And guess what? It worked out this time.
It's working out. And Trifecta wanted to show that he might have a better forward smash at that point.
Is that death? Not quite. Pac-Man too heavy.
Oh, not quite going to lead to death. That little Hydrant on the stage is going to prevent that little bit of that stall that Riptide might want in order to get down. That up air, though, he is waiting for that up air, for everything that Riptide throws out to perfectly cover that with the duck beat.
It wasn't even necessarily a hard read. He said, Pac-Man's above me. He wants to slow fall. I want to throw out Hydrant. And he said, you know what? Let me bring the game to you.
He's bringing the game to him. And Trifecta has been bringing this Duck Hunt, this match between the two classics of video game history. He's wanted to bring this into the winner's side of top 8.
Oh my God, what? Dude, all right, I was trying to say in this game 1, Riptide, one of his classic things is sort of getting in a positioning in neutral, understanding where someone doesn't want to be, and throwing the F smash at the point where your opponent doesn't think you're necessarily going to beat. Both stocks this game closed out that way.
I remember hearing, a little lesson, and that lesson is going to be immediately be refuted, saying this character still has a place in the meta. Yes. You have to stop sleeping on Duck Hunt. Trifecta going up 2-0.
Yeah, and he said, you didn't snap the ledge? I'm snapping your neck. All right, you're gone.
I'm going to snap your neck so hard, even if... Does Pac-Man even have a neck?
You're beating...
We're asking the real hard questions here.
All right, look, we're unks. These characters are unks. They probably didn't have enough pixels on the screen to animate necks, so I'm going to say no.
These characters are so old.
Also, I just want to say something quick. We can see the side stream setup here. We can see Norsen kind of getting around JKL. JKL has to be on a run. I know he was in losers before top 32. Oh my God, this tournament's is it PS2 again?
We're going back to PS2, yeah.
He really doesn't think the stage is a problem.
I don't think it necessarily is either. This really just has felt as though Trifecta has just been capitalizing a little bit more off of the same stuff that both these players do want. Like, they both have really big benefits from the stage.
Yes, zoners love PS2. And ultimately, he's saying whatever benefit there is, it's not enough to make me go somewhere else.
No, you want to just you want to prove at least on your comfortability on the stage that is so good, that you have so many tricks up your sleeve. But Trifecta is the one who's pulling out brand new tricks. He is not just a one-trick dog. He has 100 tricks ready to go, and he's still developing brand new ones as the set is even going on.
Old dog, new tricks. He's not afraid to change for whatever pace is being brought. And, 2 stocks kind of looked rough for Trifecta last game. The start of the game looked a teeny bit rough. We see he's setting the pace again.
Amen to that. Back here, that's still going to kill even from the center of the stage.
I don't think that was proper DI, I'm going to be honest.
Man, I don't know. All that matters is that it sealed out the stock. And finally, we're getting one of our first bell confirms.
I think that is the first bell confirm. You're right.
Look, it happened in Game 3. I'd rather it happen at some point if you want to be able to bring the set back. If you want to assert your position into that top 8.
Yeah, we're going to ultimately need to see the why can he do that? He's a little yellow blob.
We are using literally all the moves in Pac-Man's arsenal to get as much as we need to get the little bit of damage. This projectile character has some boxing in the tank and a forward smash to supplement it.
The last 4 stocks he's taken have been F smash. To be fair, 1 is a bell confirm, but we're seeing what I was kind of alluding to, where once conditioning is happening, once the projectile war fatigues you, he finds the opening. He knows how to throw out Inky, Blinky, Stinky, whatever ghost it is, and he's finding the kills when he needs them.
This reminds me at least like of some old advice I remember someone asking the Pac-Man legend T about. And he said, oh yeah, what should you do when things are going wrong? And T just said, F-smash more. Yeah, no complicated stuff, no trigonometry. We don't need any complication stuff or any complicated things. We need F-smash. That's what's going to net you your stocks.
And this is like the first time we're seeing neutral where Trifecta... All right, he was scared of getting hit by the can. You know what? He's not risking getting a little bit of percent to lose the stock. He said, all right, I'm going to see if I can get something after the stun, saying I don't need the opening right now. I'm content with my lead. Oh, if the hydrant was spitting, that was a kill.
It's a good presence of mind from Riptide, though, because when you get that aerial bell hit, that's not really going to lead into that much. You get a little bit of damage, but when you're getting down to this even stock with this duck hunt that has been so disgusting, that's when things could possibly turn from bad into worse.
Bear? Oh, he was not roaring.
Oh,
F-smash again?
We saw it. I saw the premonition. This is like one of those videos where it's like, this is the future that's coming to pass. But we're seeing it in real time. And now Riptide, he's waiting on the outside. Trying to get a little bit of damage, but Trifecta has been building up a little bit more of this damage here and there. He's been putting him into this ledge trap situation that not only Riptide would be able to get out of, but a little bit of damage is so good!
Ooh. All right, I have a lot to say whenever this game ends, but for right now, we're seeing Trifecta get back in position. Galaga not being drifted into. We have Key again.
The barter as well to help!
Trifecta hitting the disc raw bear, making his 2nd upset in a row, taking down both the 4th, both the 5th, and he is in winner's top 8. We talked about him looking